Did you know that our past experiences are actually reflected in our biology? That's what I'm talking about today on Wellness by Design. I'm your host, Jane Hogan, the Wellness Engineer, and today I'm talking to Roberta Tachi. She is a medical intuitive, and she actually can see inside people's bodies and can tell where there are energies and emotions stuck in the biology. I had a profound experience with her, and really, she could tell things that I was quite surprised at that I was really still hanging on to. We have a great conversation in this podcast. We talk about, well, how your biology reflects the your past and things that you may have stuffed down, especially when we're children. She talks about the difference between awareness and consciousness, and also we do a really amazing experiential session. So make sure you listen to that. And also, you can listen to it over and over again because every time you listen to it, you will go deeper and deeper into the tissues to deal with the issues. All right, enjoy this episode. Roberta Tachi, welcome to Wellness by Design today. I've been really excited about this time with you because we had a meeting earlier and we did a little bit of work, and I thought this would be lovely for my podcast audience. So we're going to learn more about it. Welcome. I'm so happy to
Oh,
have you here.
thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Yep, my pleasure. And so you are medical intuitive, and you weren't always a medical intuitive. So what
No,
took you from what you used to do to being a medical intuitive now?
well, I'm gonna try to make this short because it's already more than 30 years doing all of this. But what really brought me to be a medical intuitive was my own experience with an autoimmune disease that I had when I was 27 years old. And I just had my daughter here in the United States where I live. I'm originally from Brazil. You'll perceive my accent. And when my daughter was 4 months old, I moved to Japan, and my husband is Japanese. So I arrived there, new country, and I got sick 1 month after. And I did not know I got sick. I just noticed symptoms of paralyzation, like my tongue, my eyes were tearing. And initially, everybody was saying, oh, you just arrived in a new country. You're stressed out. That's why my family, my husband, the doctors I saw initially. And I was like, no, I am sick. I am really sick. And I could feel something below my neck, under my bones, but I did not know what was. But eventually, it really deteriorated to a very bad point. And I found a wonderful doctor, PhD in neurology. And then he discovered right away, and he said, I think you have myasthenia gravis. It's a rare autoimmune disease. And this was more than 30 years ago. It was even more rare. And I was 3 months hospitalized. It was very traumatic. I needed to separate from my baby. And after that, I had a tumor. In fact, I have a tumor in my thymus that was exactly here in the chest. Everybody said you cannot find a tumor, but I could. I knew there was something there. And so I was then on a quest to improve my life because I was taking a very high dose of a corticoid, the prednisone, and I didn't like the side effects. So many, a list like this of side effects, a big list. And I wanted to try anything that could help me to feel better. And then time passes, and I was, following the doctor and everything he was saying, and prescribing for me and everything. And one day I was reading books and books because this was before the internet in
Right.
Japan at that time. So I had a meditation in a book, and it says you're gonna connect with your higher self, your lower self, and your personality. I said, okay, I'm very interested. I got very curious. What are all of that? All of that. So that day I sit down, I said, okay, I had the book, I read, and I was going to do exactly what it was saying. But instead of that, what happened is I saw my body internally, and then I could see and communicate with my own cells, as strange as it sounds. And my cells, they were showing the cells that were paralyzed. Myasthenia is a neurological condition where the muscle and the nerve do not communicate. And it's more complex to explain, but just a simple thing is that your muscles stop moving and you cannot feel neurologically, it's disconnected, you cannot move. So eventually I had my legs, my arms, my eyes, my tongue, my neck, could not speak, the mouth, everything was paralyzed. The last thing the doctor said is going to paralyze is the breathing muscles. Wow. And he said, you have to rush to the hospital if you feel that you're not breathing. And I'm like, oh my God.
That's scary.
It was very scary. It was very scary. I would wake up in the middle of the night. Am I breathing here? I think I'm breathing. Okay. Like, how do you know how much? It was before COVID. We did not have this portable oxygen meter that we now all have probably. So anyway, I was doing this, and so talking about the paralyzation. So that is what disease is. And then when I was seeing my cells, I saw the cells paralyzed inside, and it was quite strange. And I almost say they were like soldiers, following orders. That's what they told me. There was like almost like a telepathic message telling me, we are following your orders. I'm like, okay. Then I changed my orders. It was so interesting because I never thought, which orders I gave? No, it was right away. I want a solution. So I went. Then I changed the orders. I say, move. And then I came out of my, I would say, inside of my own body. And I'm like, what was that? What happened here? And anyway, to make it even shorter, few weeks later, the doctor said, I don't think you need medicine anymore. You're doing great. You're doing great. Let's reduce. And then, boom, no medicine. So 26 years later, now I have to say, I think 27 or 80 years later, I'm not taking any medicine. I never needed medicine again. So I was very interested in helping others. And I think that became my mission also. Anytime anyone would come with any health issues, I would, let me see. Okay. So I started to study also healing modalities, energy modalities, emotional modalities, all kinds of things, because this happened in a very natural way for me. And I did not know to put a name on this. And also I thought, how can I help other people more and more? And I went into this discovery. And here I am now, seeing everybody's body and say, go there with your mind here, your mind there, and helping them to heal. Yeah.
So your process, I mean, it's an amazing story, and how you just really sort of used your consciousness to speak to the cells and give them a new direction.
Yeah.
And so now it's a hard concept for people to understand. I think that, your consciousness connects with someone's cells or their body, and you give it new direction. Is that how it works now?
Yeah, it's a bit different now. What happened, what I do now is I studied many things and got deeper and deeper and connecting more deeply with the body. And when you connect very deeply with your body, it's not exactly with the body, but with the internal space of your body. And then when you connect with that space, you realize that the space inside your body and the space outside your body is the same space, is the same continuous space. And I think in the quantum fields, they call this the quantum physics and the theories of quantum and the studies of quantum, they call this the quantum field. And I call this the field of consciousness. I just call consciousness. And many times I call divine consciousness because I think that's what it is for me. And so in this field, so when I go deeply, and more you connect deeply, more you stay deeper in this field. So whatever shows in the field, you can perceive. So your vision becomes subtler, all your senses become you become a little bit more keen with your senses. It's like when people do meditation for a long time, they can hear the sound miles away because they're deeply connected. That's what it is. It's the same idea. So what I do is I'm more present in my body, and I teach others also how to be more present in their body. And to be present is different than to be aware of the body. And I like to mention that for people to understand, because to be aware is you are in your head, which most of us pass most of the time. And then you perceive over there is a hand, there is a feet, there are feet, there are legs, there are arms and hands. So you perceive parts of your body. But when you're present, it's like your mind is in your feet, and your feet are becoming conscious of themselves. It's almost like this. It sounds so abstract, but if you don't mind, at the end of our podcast, I would love to offer a 5-minute, what I call inner connection, so people can understand, because it's more complicated to explain than to do. Super simple to do. And I really would love to share so people the listeners can really connect with that and connect with themselves. So what I teach is connect with yourself deeply. So then you are more deeply in this field, and the field reveals what is happening in someone else's body. And then I tell them, okay. And most of the time, the person does not feel or does not know, because the field really reveals to me the blind spots. The first thing that comes to me is what the person is not aware of. And it's almost like, we have a teacher here who is telling, okay, Roberta, tell this person here, there. I call their higher self telling me that's where they need to open today. Something like this.
Okay. Before I ask my next question, I want to ask this question, and that is this a skill that anyone can learn, or do you, or you can hone in on that skill, those senses a little bit? Or is this like, you've been given a gift that not everyone has?
I think it's both. I think, in fact, in my case, I think I had the gift before. I did not know. And then I seeing that person arrive here before the physical body arrived here. I'm like, oh, what was that? And before I got sick, in fact, 3 years before, I had an experience of, I got the unconscious, I call that a little trance, because I was painting a canvas and suddenly I got really deep, and then I don't know where I went. And I came back after that. I had energy coming out of my hands, but I didn't call energy. I said, air is coming out of my hands. What is this? And then I would, I was working in the office, and I would tell my friends, can you feel this? I said, yeah. We didn't call him an energy. I did not know. So there's a bit of being prepared. I think I had this 3 years prior to getting sick, so I could help myself. So, but the person can learn. You learn by connecting first deeply. And I train teachers also to do that, or practitioners who wants to do that. You first need to go deeply into your body, into your presence. And there are other techniques that help you to release the knots, I call many times the triggers of issues, or especially emotions that are in the body. But it's not only emotions, there are deeper level, which is the mind, our part of our subconscious mind that got trapped, I call trapped in the tissues, that is still stored in the tissues. So anyone can learn, and anyone can, at the same time, you need to practice more and more. You practice with yourself, and you practice also helping others, because as you practice, your sense gets, as anything we practice, we drive better after we drove for a while, right? So
Right.
same thing. You become like, oh, it becomes subtler and subtler how you see, perceive, and also the precision of what you're seeing. Because it's very common to, I have seen many people, oh, your belly is tight. Yeah, the belly is tight, but the belly tightens right away when you go toward a release of something in the body, because whatever is happening was a protection or a defense from before, and immediately fear kicks in to say, no, 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 wait, are you going to clear this defense? Come on, it might be not a good idea. That's the mind that is stored in the tissues. But the constriction might not be in the belly at all. It can be in your ankle, can be in your arm, in your shoulder. Many times, gums, we have a lot of constriction in our gums, and people are not aware many times. So if you have more precision, you go faster because you go right into the point where it initially originated.
Mm. It's such an interesting concept. I did like an afternoon workshop one time, and I kind of didn't know what I was getting into. But when I got there, it was a lot of practitioners, kind of similar to you, where they're what they were talking about was like consciousness entering, someone else and kind of going in. I think the whole thing was about back injuries, like non-surgical repair of back injuries, where they're like really going in. Like they did kind of use that idea of like soldiers, like there were soldiers there, and or like police officers. There's like the one that was in charge, and they're like, okay, talk to the one that's in charge and tell them to direct the army or whatever. I mean, it was really such an interesting concept.
Yeah, I think the reason for soldiers, and another day I was interviewing a person, she also used the word soldier. And I think the reason for, so I sometimes say, oh, the guardian, which is not the angel guardian. So
Mhm.
it's because most of what is tightened inside of the body are defenses and protections from the past. And they are protection against something that is not happening anymore. But the mind got fragmented and separated from the adult mind now. And I say this because most of the time, the origin of all this is in the childhood.
Yes.
And it can be from the womb, from the birth moment. I have worked with 2 months old memory. I have worked with people who go, to really early moments. And I have seen once a 2 month baby constricting, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's constricting. She doesn't know her mother's words, but she understands something the mother is rejecting, and she constricted. So if it repeats and repeats and repeats, suddenly you don't open anymore. You tighten the body and you keep tighten because it becomes a defense against the experience. And this can be a tiny little thing, can be a huge thing like a trauma, big T trauma, small t, like a little things that happen that are not nice, but they are repetitive. So if they are repetitive, the body tightens, and then keeping that protection way. Because it's a protection or a defense, that's why many times you're going to say, oh, it's a guardian, it's a soldier, it's a police, some part of yourself that are defending. This defense is a problem. And the reason it's a problem is because as a defense, we are rigidifying the body. We are making the body more rigid. Because imagine you are fighting with the bear or fighting with someone else. You're going to really tighten your chest so that claws would not come to your heart and kill you. Or someone punch, it would be like a wall, right? Harder. So the tissues in the survival mode, what happened? We tighten everything so that we need in the moment of a real fight, we need that because it's going to protect our vital organs and our life. But when it's something that is not a real attack. And it's repetitive, but it's words. Attack, words can be very, it's like an attack by words. It can be
Mhm.
so painful, right? So our thoughts sometimes can be painful because we go back into this, someone made this to me and told me this, and So the body defends in the same way, and it tightens in the same way, and it becomes really rigid. So that's why it's so important, because many times what's happening in the present moment triggers that old injury over there that you don't remember at all it happened. But the body is tightening the same way. I call this like the old LP. We had a track, we put the needle, the music would play. I'm old, you can see. I'm from that time, was not MP3. You had to have the LP,
I
the
still have them.
vinyl disc, and you put the needle. So that particular track, many times, okay, if it's fear, it's going to play here. If it's anger, it's going to play. This is a different track. Oh, shame, different track. And then you go humiliation, different track. And then your guilt, different track. So we have those tracks. Sometimes they overlap, sometimes they do not overlap. They are in different areas of the body where you tighten and kept that protection. Protection against feeling the experience because it was too much, or
Because
too
it was too
fast, or too
much.
intense, or simply because I've worked with sometimes such a little thing that tightens the body. Sometimes it's just because a person did not have any support. And if there is no support, it can go into a memory of a 2-year-old who feels lonely, alone, and doesn't know what to do. And it's being hurt emotionally, or something is scared in the family, and there's confusion. You don't understand. It doesn't need to be someone really attacking you at all. It can be really tiny things, but the repetition of it, the environment, that is what create the track. If it's once, it has to be big to create a track. And if it's not, it's small things, but repetitive creates those tracks. And that track has a mind that is fragmented from the present moment. For that mind, that is still present. I call this the past that is not in the past, the past that is very present in our body. Yeah, that's why I say the past shapes our biology, because it changes the fascia, which now we know more and more that is what is holding all your bones, all your muscles, all your organs. It's interpenetrated everywhere. And
And
it's not just the nervous system.
a communication highway as well, right?
Exactly. That's why when sometimes you open something in one area, the whole body also opens, because it's communicating and connected with everything in the body. So
Mhm.
that's what my work is, deeply to open the fascia, open the knots where the
Yeah.
fascia is tight. It's more
Yeah,
than
I see
than
that all the time too. That I mean, pain is kind of a defense physiology, but often long before people get pain, there was other stuff, tightening and
exactly.
rigidity, and so really relate to what you're saying. Do you those different emotions? Can they show up anywhere in the body, or do you typically see certain emotions and show up in certain parts of the body, or is it just totally random?
Both. I said, this
Okay.
woman doesn't give me any clue. No, it is both, because fear has a very particular pathway, because fear will connect with the sympathetic nervous system. So it will tight in a very specific way, which the very basic is we tighten our armpit, we tighten our arms. So the inner arm tightens toward the rib cage. The rib cage tightens also because I was saying we are going to protect our heart, we're going to protect our lungs, because
Mhm.
without the heart and lungs, we are gone, right? So then we tighten quite strong. When we are tightened, you see, I'm doing, this is a podcast, but what I'm doing is I'm closing my hands also. So we tighten the arms, I close my hands. It's almost almost like the boxer, like when the boxing, they're going to protect their chest and they're going to put their hands and with that big gloves right in front, exactly like this. So that is a very simple way. Some people say, I'm always, when I wake up, my hands are closed. That means fear is in the body and fear is showing. Also, fear will make people contract their ankles, and many times they will have problems in the pelvis. And the problem in the pelvis because they are contracting their ankles and they are lifting the sit bone in one side, normally the left, but they're going to have problem in the right, and I'm going to explain soon why. And they lift the hip and they lift internally the ankle to run because, fight or flight. Let me escape this. I am going to escape this situation. But imagine if you are, for example, in your school and your teacher is making fun of you, or you feel embarrassed because something happened, you did not know the right answer when the teacher called your name, something, right? And then you want to escape that situation. You don't want to experience the shame and everything. So fear kicks in because the sympathetic nervous system will do everything for you to escape the situation. But you can't escape. You can't just say, excuse me, bye-bye, I don't want to be here. You can't.
Yeah.
The body contract in the same way. So now, if you have several situations that cause fear, the body keeps contracting to a point that suddenly you will not notice it. You don't, first of all, we do not even notice that. I notice, I see right away with everybody contract. But we feel that, the stomach, perhaps that, strange feeling in your gut, and that is the fear kicking in. So that is very, very universal, I would say, to everybody. We kind of like, if you have a problem in your ankles, go there with your mind. I will tell you what to do soon. But fear has this particular system because it's following the sympathetic nervous system and contract. So if the hip keep lifting to run, but you don't run, suddenly the sits bone is not aligned with the right side anymore. It doesn't go down. It is like that. And many times you're going to feel fear on your left side of the body that you don't even know. And the right side many times will rigidify to run and to punch. So the arm gets more rigid and ready to punch with your right hand. Even if people who are left-handed, they also rigidify many times the right side, and the leg of the right side gets also more rigid, and because the right side gets more rigid, also to help to step, and really go. Many times the effect will be on the right side, and many times the cause is on the left. So this is a little bit of a universal for me when I'm looking at the body. But now, shame can be anywhere in the body, can be anywhere. The face will show also. Also, I forgot to say, fear many times is in the gums, as I was saying, because anger also can be in the jaw hinge. Jaw hinge can have a tightness for many reasons, but it can be, but the sympathetic nervous system can tighten areas that are in the body universal, but the mind might be anywhere in the body. That's why I said both. You have universal ways of tightening the body. The fascia has a particular directionality also, so you will tighten a particular way. But the mind, that is like a snowflake. Where the mind is, many times is like a snowflake, because you can tighten a particular part of your gum of only one particular tooth that has a reason why it is there. But there is always a reason, and I let people know you're not crazy. There's a reason. Even if you do not know, there is a reason for the body to be doing that. The body is also not crazy. Your body is not
speaks
crazy.
the mind, right? And like you said, the body is like just a reflection of the past. Exactly. As you were talking, I was like, okay, yeah, had that. Had that happen. And tightness on the right. Yes. I mean, I had obviously a lot of pain with rheumatoid arthritis, reversed that, but I still have tightness. Like my right jaw is very tight. And I notice if I've got a really busy day, by the end of the day, I know it's really tight. And I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of tight there right now. I feel like I'm an open book in front of you. Like you can see all this.
Yeah. Some people get scared, and I said, "But I'm here to help you." And the other day I was doing a class, and I was saying, "Okay, I can tell you where is the problem, where is the root cause of the problem," and then I could feel the whole group is tightening, like, "Oh my gosh!" It's like,
Oh, she can tell. That's so
and
funny.
but that the fear many times is coming from the past. This fear come from two reasons. One, as I mentioned before, is because this is a protection and defense against some type of experience from the past. But now, as an adult, you can tell yourself, I'm an adult now. It's okay. I can handle this. Because when you tell yourself, you're talking to that fragmented mind that is in the body. And then many people are going to say, oh, trauma, they don't work with words. Oh, this mind is pay attention to every single word we talk here. Every single thing. This mind is from the subconscious mind, is aware of everything that is happening in the environment. Every word, every sound, every visual input, any image, everything.
And
Everything.
it's running the body, right?
Oh, it's running. It's really running. That's why it's so important to be deeply connected so that you can connect with this part of the mind that is lodged. Because it's okay, the subconscious mind, to be aware of everything, because you want that mind to be aware so that it protects you. That is the purpose of it, to protect if something is happening.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is when I'm sitting on my chair, nothing is happening around me, and I contract. Then that is a problem, because there is no reason. My survival is not in a challenged position, and I should not be tightening my body. So that's why it's so important to understand that. So I was in this class, everybody contract, and I said, I'm here to help you.
Right.
I'm here to help. I'm here to let you know where you are contracting and why you're contracting. We're going to go deeper there so that you can release yourself from the past, because this is like chains, it's a really chain. I call this a prison. And we
Yeah.
need to open and soften. And then, okay, something happened. I got tense and I release right away that tension. I don't keep holding tension in my body because eventually it becomes disease. The blood cannot flow, the lymphatic cannot flow. Nothing can flow well with too much tension in the body. Yeah.
Mm.
So sorry, I'm just going to finish because I mentioned two
Okay.
things. One is the feeling that this is a protection from the past. So I don't want to open now, because still the mind think it's dangerous. That's why you can say, I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. But the second thing is, if we were too much criticized or judged in the past, we are afraid of being seen and that being judged or being rejected. So that's also another reason, even more so, that we need to go deeper to release that part of ourselves who suffered. And we have to be very loving to that part, compassion and love, because it is a part of ourselves that has really suffered. And it's sometimes painful to recognize that, but we need to, because we need to release the emotions that were trapped before because there was no support. So the emotions pass through you. And then what happened? You feel super stronger now. You feel joy that you haven't felt for a long time. I have clients who call me and say, I'm laughing. It's a long time. I did not even know why. I don't even know why I'm laughing, but it's so funny. Everything is just such a joy now. So a person feels empowered because fear is released from the body. So there's the other side of the spectrum that you can only feel the joy, the happiness, powerful, and everything, love, compassion, because you release the other emotions. They're all emotions, no judgment, no judgment toward emotions. They're all good. All that has
Judgment is a defense emotion, right? So that makes sense.
exactly.
So, Roberta, can we talked about this beforehand, kind of using me to lead the audience through a little experience of this. So you ready to do that?
Oh, yes, definitely. Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so I'm going to give a few instructions, just quickly instructions that are important for the audience to know how to do this in the best way for them. And the best way is, first, I'm going to guide you through your body. So, because I call this the inner connection. Do not imagine your body. Do not visualize your body, because if you do this, you're going to be in your head, in your mind, thinking about your body and not really connecting with your body. And I used to help many teachers even on this, because I said, oh, you're connecting with your virtual self. So no virtual self. If you cannot feel certain parts, it's okay. That is the process. We are here to discover more inner space in ourselves. So don't visualize and don't imagine the body. Don't try to feel the energy. Just feel, you have to feel your matter. Because if you want to heal, you have to feel. So
feel your matter. Is that what you said?
Yeah, yeah, your body matter, the mass, the physical body, because many times the person wants to go even to the energy, and I'm feeling all this energy, but disconnected from the body, the physical, the mass of flesh, your own flesh, you have nerves, you have everything, because as I mentioned before, the consciousness, even when you're mentioning, in this workshop, people bring the consciousness to the body. No one can bring consciousness to the body because, and I'm very strong about this because I have been working for a long time, the consciousness is always pervading the body, always. So if you connect deeply, you will have this experience that you are consciousness. So the consciousness is always there. But if you have knots in your body, and we all have knots in our body, that's also a very good thing. Say, oh, we all have knots. No one is perfect here, okay? And you don't need to be perfect. You cannot perceive consciousness in those areas. And that's why we need to open. Besides, that brings a lot of health issues. Okay, so just connect with your real physical body to feel your physical body. That's only the explanation I want. Another thing that sometimes people do is they go with the little me inside of their body, bringing everywhere. Don't create a little me inside of your body. Just to feel your body, and I'm going to guide you through this. Okay. All right.
Have my eyes closed, or?
Yeah, I was going to say you can close your eyes because it will help you with the focus within. And take a moment, and I'm going to be silent just to help you to be more focused in yourself right now. Just pay attention to yourself. Bringing all your attention to yourself. And take a moment now to feel your nose. And feel your mouth. And feel your chin. And really feeling it. It's almost like you're bringing your mind into your nose, your lips, your mouth, your chin. And you can bring your chin a little bit down. When the chin is down, it helps us to connect more with ourselves and also connect more with our pelvis and legs and feet. Very good. And now feel that you are in your whole face. And now connect behind your face so that you're connecting with the space inside your head. Means feel your own head internally. And keep the chin down. And see if you can connect inside of your head, not only behind the forehead, but also the space behind the nose and the space behind the chin area. This will help to connect more deeply with the body. Very good. And now bring your attention down to your feet and feel that you are in your feet. It's almost like your mind is going there, your focus, your attention, deep inside your feet, both foot, left foot and right foot. And you might not feel one as much as you feel the other, and it's okay. And now take a moment to feel your ankles and see if your mind can go all the way through to the back of the ankles, the Achilles tendon. Very good. And now feel that you are in your legs. You can feel your shin, your calves, especially you can feel your knees. And feel your thighs. Very good. And now feel your pelvis. And you can bring your mind right into the bottom of your torso, the sits bones. Really down, down, so that you can really allow the torso also to rest on the chair. And see if you can feel the back as well, and also the sides, so that you're not only in the center of your pelvis, but you can feel your hips. Very good. And now feel the belly below the belly button. And now bring your mind to feel the midsection, allowing yourself to feel the abdominal area and all the way through to the back. This is lumbar area, but many people have pain. If you bring your mind there, it will help to soften. Very good, very good. Feeling your sides. And now bring your mind to your chest. And all the way through to the back, so that you also feel your back. And also toward the sides. See if you can feel the area below the armpit. It's the side of the rib cage. You can soften. Very good. And now feel that you are in your shoulders from the bottom of your neck to your arms. Allowing the shoulders also to settle down towards the floor. It's an internal movement of settling. And now feel that you are in your arms, from your shoulders to your elbows, to your wrists, hands, and fingers. And feeling yourself in this whole structure, your hands, your arms, your shoulders, both sides. And now feel your neck. And it's easier to find first the sides of your neck, the space between your ear and your shoulders. And feel the front of your neck and the back of your neck. And now feel again your face. So now feel the forehead, allowing the forehead to rest and soften and relax. Feel the temples and feel all the way around. So I want you to feel the sides of the head above the ears. And even allowing the head to be wider. And take a moment to feel your eyes. Inner corner of your eyes, outer corner of your eyes. Allowing the eyes to soften and rest. Your eyes soft. Now feel that you are in your nose, all the way to the tip of your nose, and the cheeks and cheekbones, your face, your mouth, your lips, your chin, your jaw. And then go all the way up to the jaw hinge, close to your ears. And now feel your ears and your inner ears. And now feel that you are in your whole head, especially the back of your head, the back of the neck, the occipital area, occipital ridge, the back, the lower back of the head. And now feel the top of the head as well. And now you can feel your brain. As strange as it sounds, you can bring your mind to feel again the internal space of your whole head and your brain. This will nourish your brain. Very good. Very good. Now feel that you are in your whole body all at once. From the soles of your feet to the top of your head. Feeling as one. And relax. And slowly, very slowly, you can open your eyes. And with your eyes open, continue to feel that you are present here.
Really interesting. Feels good. Actually, my jaw is just really relaxed there now.
Yeah. So this inner connection is not only for any person who has physical issues. This is for every single person, because life is quite accelerated now. We are all in this accelerated mode of so many things to do. This takes us out of ourselves. Many times we come forward in the body because we are trying to arrive before the body arrives,
Yeah.
So this helps anyone because it helps to relax the body. As you bring your mind there, I'm sure you like you said, it's softened. It helps to relax. It helps the tissues to soften for that rigidity I was talking about. It helps the blood to flow more. You might feel warm in some areas. And it helps also if you have any issue to be more present with that issue so that you can bring your mind there to unwind that area as well.
I did get really warm doing that.
Exactly.
When we got up to the head, I thought, I'm really warm here.
Yeah, I think our blood is, I don't know, I think it's at least 95, 96 degrees, right? Our blood is warm. So because when we are tense, the body tightens, even if it tightens just a little bit. So blood cannot flow in the same way. So that helps the blood to flow. Also, when you bring your mind to areas that you haven't been present for a while, it's also like, oh, I'm making this part more alive now. Blood goes there, and then you, this is good. It feels warm. Yeah. And then later you will feel, more you practice, more you will feel like natural, because that is the natural way of being. That is our natural way of being. We somehow got unnatural.
There was a few times I found myself, and I would come out of it, but I found myself going into, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but my kids had the book, and there was a TV show, The Magic School Bus.
Oh, I don't know that one. That was not brought to Brazil.
This teacher had, she'd take the kids on field trips basically, and they go in the magic school bus, but the magic school bus could get really tiny. Well, in this one particular book that we had, it got really tiny and would go in through the body. I was like, oh, this is like the magic school bus.
Yeah, so kind of that, but that's why before I said because I have, after, teaching this for so many years, you have all kinds of things. There's a person, I always remember there was a person that I left my body and then I enter as a little thing. And I said, okay, that was not what you're supposed to do. And then normally this by how was your experience. So now I tell beforehand, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, do that.
And as I was thinking about, I was like, no, I know that's not the way it's supposed to be. And then I would just sort of come back to like feeling the presence, right? The space.
Yeah, the space. Feel the body, really. Feel the internal space of your body. Because it is the same space outside. It is. But we need to connect with the body, with the parts of the body in order to feel this space. And you are very connected, Jane. You have been doing work for a long time. But for the audience that might not have been working on themselves, sometimes they will feel they get sleepy. And certain parts, they're going to relax so much, they fall asleep and they wake up most of the time, they wake up around the neck and they go, oh, here I am in my head again, because they can be very tired and not noticing they are tired. So that can happen. Also, sometimes they're going to get sleepy where there are a lot of emotions to feel, but they're not ready to feel all of them, and they will not feel all of them little by little. So then they also get disconnected. And sometimes the mind goes, I'm not going to listen to this. That's all. There's all kinds of little things that happen. That's why I do my classes, they're all live instead of recorded, because I really need to address why is happening this or that and that. Yeah.
So for the people watching, listening, you can come back and play this over and over again, like
over and over.
Practice it and teach yourself how to do this, because it's like learning any new skill. It takes practice.
It takes practice, and as you practice, even you go to the same area, you go deeper and deeper in that area, which is beautiful. It's beautiful. That's what we want. We go as deep as. And consciousness is there it's much faster. We are quite available for consciousness, because consciousness is everywhere in ourselves and outside of ourselves. It's here all the time. You are consciousness. You just have not perhaps experienced that. And this inner connection will, of course, I just did 5 minutes, but you can do 30 minutes. You can be a long time in your feet, finding each toe. You can, and it's easier with someone guiding. So I would suggest really listen again and again and again.
Thank you. What a beautiful experience, Roberta. I love that.
Thank you.
So I want to ask you, this is all about intentional living, being a conscious creator, right, of the physical body of your life. So what would you suggest as being like a one baby step someone could do just today? First thing, one baby step they could do that's going to begin to initiate healing in their body. What would you say to that?
I would say first is the inner connection of 5 minutes. I would definitely, this is number one, because if you're not in your body, for me, you cannot heal your body. You cannot. People do a lot of mindset beliefs. It's beautiful, but the beliefs are also in the body. And to clear that mind is to be in the body. But you don't have 5 minutes. You have 1 minute. I would say, find the center of the palms of your hands. It's quite many times easy. Find the left side first. I'm going to even suggest, find the center of your palm on your left side, and then find the center of your palm on your right side, and then find both at the same time.
No, that's a great starting point.
Yeah, it's easier. It takes seconds to do. And guess what? When you are deeply in any symmetrical points at the same time, you're deeply in the whole body also. It's like it can connect you very deeply, very deeply. Just practice this. It's 30 seconds. I don't think it's not even 1 minute to find the center. Wow. And you can do this in the morning to help you to be ready to work, to whatever you're going to do. You can sit in your car, you're going to drive to work. Okay, 30 seconds. I'm going to do this. Fine. Okay, go. You're going to sleep before going to sleep because it will help to soften the body. To sleep, I would use the podcast 5 minutes here because that will help your whole body and you're going to sleep much better. That's my
Wonderful. Now, you and I met because you invited me to speak on a summit that you got coming up about autoimmune disease. So, want to talk a little bit about that, and we can share a link with people as well if they want to.
Oh, yes, I would love to promote,
Yeah.
take this opportunity to promote this summit because like Jane, who is an expert in pain, I have other people expert also in gut health and in many things. And also I have some speakers of cancer also who are talking and doctor who talk about cancer. So it's really a summit about health. But the name of the summit is the real story of autoimmune disease summit and discover how your past shapes your biology. Because the past in terms can be trauma and experiences, but also toxins. We talk about toxins, we talk about the food, everything that is in the past that helped to our biology to be in a particular way. And we want to improve that. So I gathered more than 25 top experts that are passionate to help, like you, Jane, like me. They are passionate to help people to heal, to get better, to improve their health. And they are giving strategies to manage, to reverse symptoms, but also for me, this is my third summit, and I see now a difference. Now people are going deeper into also scientific research and the change that is happening with change now is faster with so much research. So I was just talking to some of my clients yesterday, the very different from previous summit to this one. So it's really, really wonderful. I'm quite happy with that. And it's a free, everybody can register for free. And the summit is going to be broadcast between September 30th, Monday, to October 4th, Friday. And I'm going to say the registration is autoimmunediseaseevent.com/summit. And I think the easiest way is also connect with me in my Instagram, which is my name, Roberta Tachi. And also I have an app called Embodied Wellness. You can download Android or Apple. And you can register and watch the summit using the app, which is Embodied Wellness.
I didn't know about your app. That's wonderful. Okay,
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
have those links if you just check below, click on the more button, or depending on what app you're using, it'll be down below. So you can sign up and join in. And my goodness, I mean, it's just going to be wonderful with all these different experts and, like you said, pulling in the science, and I think it's going to be fantastic. So thank you, Roberta. And I'm really delighted that you were here today and just sharing this really interesting body of work. It's a different perspective than I've heard from other people. So I so appreciate you and what you're doing.
I also thank you so much for this opportunity to share this. It's not well known.
Yeah.
But we have to spread the word because it's easier and everybody can do, and everybody can also combine their work they are doing just by being more present, has a deeper result, let's say this way. Yeah, wonderful. So I really appreciate you inviting me and giving me this opportunity to be here to share. Thank you.
Thanks for being here, and thanks to the audience for watching and listening. And please share this with someone who needs to hear it, and especially about this autoimmune summit. There's going to be some great things there as well. So have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again soon.